don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
I don't know what's real anymore. I've opened up the door to nowhere.
Hello there everyone, this is Tom, and today when I'm recording this is actually Father's Day, September the 17th, and this is what my children and my wife got me for Father's Day. I don't own a whole lot of movie Transformers, so I'll compare it to what I have to compare it to and we'll go from there. Here's the box. As you can see, it's got a picture of Hound on it. He's all about Hound. It's Premier Edition. Side of the box. Top of the box. Side of the box. He's a munitions expert. Bottom of the box has words and stuff. And the top of the box, or the back of the box, looks like this. Alright, why don't we open it up here and see what all we get. Empty box. Well, I guess this bears a little looking. It's a nice little Autobot symbol. Okay. Let's see here. He's coming with some instructions. Okay. Doesn't look too horribly complicated. I guess he can do this, that, and the other thing. Okay. Let's see, in the clamshell we get two of those little sticks, two of those little guns, whatever the hell that thing is, and the figure. So, why don't we tear into him? Well, I was starting to get really frustrated with this figure because I couldn't get him to stand, and I took a look at the directions. Apparently these feet fold out and give him a little bit more stability, but let me tell you, he's extremely back heavy and those feet are not very good. Taking a look at the weapons real fast, we get this single cast gray plastic. We get two of them. We get two of these little guns here. A little bit of molded detail. Not a lick of paint on them. Although there is, looks like there's something. There's a Roman numeral 4 right there for some odd reason. That's just kind of strange. The other one here has it too. How interesting. Any Roman numerals on these? Not that I can see. And then we get this crazy thing, whatever the hell it is. Again, single cast. And this one has an A2 on it. Huh, interesting. I like finding little stuff like that. It just makes it interesting. Alright, so let's take us a look at the figure here. Again, this is Movie Hound. So we get pretty blue eyes, I'll give him that. Those are really nicely colored blue eyes. He's got this metal beard going on. He's got stuff here. His head does this. We've got gray plastic, I think that's gunmetal gray paint, or gunmetal or charcoal, what the other paint. And he's got a little bit of orange right here, some gunmetal, that's plastic. I think that's a separate piece of plastic. Yeah, the tires have paint on them. Coming around the figure, this is the back of it. It cleans up fairly well. I'll give it that. I give Hasbro their due. He does have some hollow, but it's not horrible. There's some more paint back here. We'll see more in vehicle mode. So, articulation, the head is on some type of hinge swivel. It moves back and forth, a little bit up, a little bit down. The arms are on, it's pinned right in here. I bet there's a mushroom peg. I can't see it, but I bet there is. It rotates, and then it's got this hinge which allows him to go all the way out on both sides. Okay, we have an upper bicep rotation, which is on a mushroom peg. You could see the joint right there. Let's see here. How about elbow bends? Well, unless I'm doing it wrong, which is a possibility, I fully grant. Let's see here. Okay, so if you move these out of the way a little bit, you can get a full bend on the elbow. But with them the way that they were, right there, you're limited to that as far as an elbow bend. So, yeah, I think those belong on the back there, and it gets him a much better range. Let's see here. He has a waist rotation, which gets him that far because of this hip skirt. Actually, it's not even a hip skirt, it's a waist skirt, isn't it? Let's see. This thing is going to get caught up. You could get his leg out a little bit. If you bring it straight up, it doesn't. I mean, that's it. That's as far as you're going to get. Back, that's it. That's the whole thing, because this skirt and this skirt. You can rotate them at that joint, and you can get that far and that far. But again, he's not straight on. They're rotated at that point. Out to the sides, that's what you get unless you start maneuvering around. And when you maneuver around, then you can get the full Chinese. Let's see here. This is, I don't know what kind of joint that is. Skullface might call that a universal. I don't know. There's a rotation here and then a hinge. It's not ratcheted, anything like, oh, the hip skirt gets all the way. Well, I didn't know that. I don't think it's supposed to, though. But you get a mushroom peg, which you can actually see right there. Gives you thigh rotation, knee bend. That's it. That's what you're going to get. And the feet, they have a rocker right here, which gets you all of that right there. That's as far as you can do flat-footed. And there's not really an up or a down at this point. You can rotate that up and down as a faux toe tilt. Well, it's not a faux, it's a toe tilt. Let's see here. Size comparisons. Let's see, here he is with movie Bumblebee. I don't remember if that's the Last Knight Bumblebee or if it was the one before that. I can't remember. Here it is with Classics Prime. Okay. Here it is with Black Arachnia and animated RC for you animated and Beast Wars fans. And lastly, here it is with Nemesis Prime. Can I have some of his weapons? No. Go away, Nemesis. Ah, screw you, Tom. Alright. Speaking of weapons, though, why don't we take a look and make sure that he can actually hold his. Okay, that one goes in just fine. This thing here goes in just fine. And that goes in just fine, too. And I'm sure there's ways of arming him up and making him look all menacing and whatnot, and storage, maybe. Loose joint. So he's coming in at 6.5 to the head, shoulder to shoulder. We're looking at, let's call that 3.5 because his arms don't sit flush. Depth wise, this is going to be another one of those we're going to have to eyeball. Let's see here. About to right there, about to right there. I'd say he's right at 3 inches. So I think the next thing we're going to have to do is transform him. Okay, so a couple things real quick. I think I've mentioned that he has a difficult time standing. Part of that is because of the, pardon me, the hip joints are a little loose. And looking at the instructions, because yes, I do actually do that on occasion. This thing right here plugs in right there, and apparently this is the stock configuration for how these are supposed to go. So, yeah. Just thought I'd share that so everybody would know. And, I mean, I guess if you wanted him to have weapons like that, that's a thing. And they fold up nice and neat on this back. Okay, so let's transform this guy. First thing we need to do is extend this part right here. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to do this exactly the way that the instructions say, but it'll be alright. Oh, and one other thing, if it serves some purpose, the helmet can come off if it serves some purpose for some reason. It is a pain to try to hold on to. Alright, so, well, puffing stuff. Now, because I had to show that off, now I've got to put this back up, put that back on, like that. Okay. So pull this up, push the head in, shut the head flap. That is step one. Come down to the feet, pull your tires back in, take this little section right here is on a hinge, go ahead and pull it up. That's the wheel well. Do that on both sides. It just rotates up and it's supposed to snap into place. It did on that other one. Oh, it snaps underneath this right here to make it work. Rotate this section right here, which is on a double hinge. Get some more light in here. Rotate this up, move this down and out of the way, and you can just about put that into place right there. Not quite yet, but pretty close. Take your tire here, swing it down, swing it around, and put that into place. Down, around, and basically into place. Take this section here, and it's just on a regular old hinge, push it down. Now, there is a port right here that will take this hinge right here and secure that. It's on both sides. and then you just connect all this together. There's a pin and a port here and a pin and a port there, and that's the front of the vehicle. Now, open up the crotch piece here. It does not say this in the instructions, but let me tell you, it makes life a whole lot easier to be able to do what needs to be done. Take your arms here and just unpeg them like that. Push them out. Open up your forearm here and rotate the... Oh, if I didn't mention, the hand does have rotation. Rotate the hand back and in. Do this on both sides. Open it up. You can see the cavity. Rotate your hand back in, and there you go. Now, we're forming the top and sides of the vehicle. So these come forward, and you've got to rotate this just the right way. Rotate your missiles. If I remember correctly, when you rotate everything and it's just right, it will look like this. You have to have the missiles down, and to clear this section you have to have this out of the way. So I did that backwards, didn't I? Yeah. It needs to look like this. My apologies. So pull this up and in. There's a little pin and a port that'll go in right there. And if you notice, if you do it right, the missiles will clear right there, and everything will just kind of solidify. Well, that's what you want. So let's see if I can do that again the correct way. This goes like this, that goes like that. This comes around. Just like this right here. Okay, so your pin is out here. No, that's not right. You did it again, Tom. It goes like this so that it can close up like that. That is correct. My apologies yet again. So we push this up, and here you see we have a little bit of a clearance issue with the missiles, but they will go. Now these will also pin together right there if you can see it. So it's just a matter of getting everything pinned in, pushed together, and then we come down here and we reseal his crotch flap like that. Okay, now we get it right, Tom. Take your wheels here, and they're on a hinge, as you can see. Push them down, but being mindful of this pin right here, because it will get in your way. So you kind of have to flex it around that a little bit. Then you push these up, and there is a pin right here that will go into that little depression port right there, and that solidifies that wheel well. Pushed up, same thing, bam. And that is him transformed. You can have these stick it up, although I think the official transformation calls for them to be turned around and facing like that. I believe that is exactly how it shows. Could be wrong. I was wrong once back in December of '78, but that's another story. Okay, in this mode, from bumper to, let's just go back to here and not count those. We're looking at 6 inches. If we were to count those, add 1/4 of an inch. Width wise, we are looking at just over 2 inches. Height wise, I'd say that's the highest point on him, and from my perspective, it is almost 3 inches. Now, here it is with Classics Prime, and as you can see, they're pretty much spot on the same size. Here it is with that crappy Bumblebee Legend scale. And there's just one more comparison I need to make. Lastly, here it is with, I think that's the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, and I don't know if that's the right scale or not, but that's what you get. And now, to answer the burning question on everyone's mind, how does the Last Knight Autobot Hound scale with Metroplex? And there you can see him in the hand of Metroplex. And again, there's Generations RC just to give you a sense of scale. And here it is all transformed up in the hand of Metroplex. Final thoughts wise, the plastic quality on this vehicle is good. On this Transformer is good. I like the alt mode. I think it's fine. It rolls very well on these tires. It's of a good scale. I like what they've done with it. It looks like a real world vehicle. Of course, the robot mode looks like a Bayformer. But as far as I've had a few Bayformers in my day, and this is probably one of the better ones that I've had. It doesn't make me want to throw it away, or you know, whatever. And I don't throw away my Transformers. I do have a Ratchet that I don't have out, but it's somewhere. But I think those four represent the Optimus, the Bumblebee, this one, and the Ratchet represent the four that I actually have. And honestly, I'd say maybe this one is potentially the best one out of the four that I own. So tell me, which one do you consider to be Hound? Me personally, I was raised with G1, so this is my Hound. This is a Bayformer, and yeah.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
So taking a look at Sludge, he comes with a couple of accessories. He comes with the hand, which is not a hand-foot gun, which I'm sure we were all really pleased that, you know, at least Hasbro's doing something different. There's the cover piece for when you put in Power of the Primes thingy. Let's see.